So on today's video you're joining us on a farm in Buckinghamshire. It is June and we were heading out to see what Roe Bucks might be around ahead of the rut that potentially needed removing. We had been walking along this stubble field to our left hand side and by this point had already headshot a Muntjac buck that sadly we didn't get on footage, but then spotted a pair of Muntjac to the left hand side of this hedgerow ahead of us out in the sort of freshly cultivated field to our left. So decided to sneak down this side of the hedgerow, pop out in the freshly cultivated field and see if we could get a shot at one of those two Muntjac. So you won't be able to see them because they sort of blend into the darkness of the wood behind, but there were two Muntjac just ahead of us at the far end of this field, sort of just on the edge of this freshly cultivated field, sort of browsing off some bits and pieces on the hedgerow to our right. There was a nice looking buck, but also a doe with him as well, and we decided to take the Muntjac doe. So I don't know what is going on with Muntjac populations here where I stalk, and I'd be interested to know if you guys are experiencing the same thing, but I'm just seeing them everywhere and loads of them, and in really good condition in terms of quite big, plump, good sort of body sizes. Missed the first one on camera because I just didn't have time to get it set up, but hopefully you've seen a bit of footage of us head shooting a Muntjac doe that was just out here, about to head on some stubble that's just been drilled with a wild birdseed mix. It's first week of June, and it's sort of about 8:45 at the minute. Arrived sort of, I don't know, 15-20 minutes ago. You can probably hear there's another Muntjac barking. We've literally just shot two, so we're going to go and see if we can't find another one. So we went and looked in search of that Muntjac that we could hear barking, and just spotted a Roe Buck up on top of that, well, 3/4 of the way up that sort of grassy bank. Bit tricky because the grass is so long you just can't quite see where the crest of the hill is, and so I might have had a safe shot, I might have not, and basically decided not to take it. This sort of time of year, he was a big sort of old mature Roe Buck. He looked like he'd sort of snapped his antlers on one side, or just had a sort of almost like a single spike on one side, and then quite thick antler on the other side with three points. Ideally one to have removed before the rut really, but I might try and come back and catch up with him. What I was getting at is that this time of year I tend to find they're quite sort of territorial now, and that if he was there tonight he'll probably be there
next time I come back, basically, if I go looking for him. So no great shakes to kind of leave him and come back for him. And at the end of the day, it's one Roe Buck. It's not as though we came across a big group of fallow in season or something. So I think it's about 9:30 now. I'm probably going to call it night, because these two Muntjac I've bled and hung in a tree, but I'd quite like to get the guts out, because I find with Muntjac their some intestines seem to leak a little bit quicker or more readily than something like a fallow, for example. So I don't really want to leave them with guts in for too much longer. So I'm going to head back, deal with those, and I suspect we'll call it a night. So there we have it, two wonderful, nice, clean headshot Muntjac carcasses now in the landing. They'll make fantastic eating over the barbecue season. Landowner will also be really happy, because on that particular estate they've done quite a lot of tree planting, and tend to find that Muntjac probably do a sort of disproportionate amount of damage, in terms of they do quite a lot, bearing in mind they're quite a small animal. So it's a week after we were out after those two Muntjac. This is the Muntjac buck, the one that sadly I just didn't get on film. I thought I'd got the camera on already when I went up to check it later. Turned out I hadn't pressed the button, so apologies, we didn't get this one on film. He was another headshot. He was probably only sort of 50 metres ahead of us on a track, just about head out into some rye. So again, he was a kind of prime candidate to take to keep the farmer happy. Did think at the time that he was a particularly heavy looking animal, in terms of quite thick set. Literally about to skin him off, so we just weighed him, and you might be able to see the figure up there. And I think I commented in the film earlier saying that this year we have seen firstly a huge number of Muntjac around, but secondly they seem to be enormous in terms of body weight and just general size. And this guy has weighed out at 13.5 kilos. That is with legs off, head off, as you can still see, skin on. So again, really interested to know if this is just something we're seeing down near us, whether it's the way we're managing the Muntjac, or whether it's something other people are seeing a lot of as well. So depending on what you're seeing, get in contact, drop a comment in the comment section below. Hello everyone and welcome back. You thought that was the end of the film, and to be fair, I did as well. I was actually editing and putting together all of that footage, and happened to go out stalking the night I was editing, and bumped into the Roe Buck that we caught on camera, but I wasn't able to get a shot at the night I took those two Muntjac. I was able to get a really good look at him through the binoculars, and could quite clearly see he had a single point on one side. Was able to get to about 160 metres close sort of to him. Couldn't really get any closer without giving our presence away, because he was in the middle of a big kind of open field, and I'd got as close as I thought I was going to without him noticing us. Anyway, managed to get a nice shot at him. We've skinned off the carcass, and I'll actually show you the carcass in a second, just because a lot of people seem to quite enjoy the footage where we show sort of entry and exit wound from the various different bullets we use. In this case it was a 150 grain Fox bullet, and I think your proof is in the pudding, you'll see it in a second. Buck sort of ran maybe 5 metres and then dropped, and that was it, game over. But what you're probably more interested to see is the head. Didn't manage to get any footage on the actual stalk itself, primarily because we were concentrating on other things, but also this time of year, evening stalks, the camera equipment that we've got, and to be fair, most camera equipment just isn't good enough at sort of 9 o'clock at night to capture really good quality footage. It's just very grainy, very dark, and so we thought you guys probably wouldn't want to see that. But here is our Roe Buck, and for any of you that are slightly squeamish, you might want to look away now. This is just the head, so not attached to the body, as it were. Just put the tray aside. So here we have, on this side, so his right hand side, 3 lovely points, but then you can see as you spin him round, I'll try and reposition my hands, single point on this side, which has got sort of 2 points at the top of it. And if you look at the coronets, you can sort of see he's clearly either damaged this or had some sort of injury in the past that has meant that this has grown very differently to this side. And you can probably see why I wanted to take him out, just because if and when he was fighting with another buck, this side would potentially engage, but this side engage with the other deer's antlers, but this side not, and potentially cause a fair bit of damage. He was quite an old animal, but otherwise in sort of relatively good condition. Some signs of pneumonia inside, but other than that, absolutely fine. So yeah,
So nice buck to have taken, quite an unusual one. I thought he might have had some damage to his to the crown jewels, as it were, but he wasn't, and having skinned him off, apart from some slight signs of pneumonia, nothing I could spot at all anywhere. So again, if anyone out there is more well versed or educated than us and can say whether this definitely is from him damaging this antler, coronet, pedicle, etc., then be really interested to know. I'll quickly pop this back and then we'll get the carcass out of the chiller. It's been freshly skinned, and you can have a look at the entrance and exit wound. So here you have our Roe Buck. You'll have to forgive me if the chiller pipes back up in the background. This was entrance wound just here, probably slightly further back than kind of textbook, but that's because the animal was slightly quartering, and you'll see on the other side the shots come out sort of about here. So I didn't really want to come much further on this side because I would have completely wiped out the shoulder on the other side. You can see entrance wound just there, and there's a bit of bruising, probably sort of extending to about that, but nothing that you can't cut out. Hasn't extended up into saddle or the shoulder or any further back. So, I mean, to be honest, I think that is really good going. In terms of exit wound, you've got exit wound there, so like I said, you can see a little bit further forward. But I mean, the way it's kind of stretched, exit wound is probably about here. So again, I didn't want to come much further forward and risk this shoulder. Again, a little bit of bruising, you can just sort of see a little bit in there, but nothing that dramatic at all. And the kind of terminal results on this animal were fantastic, and it dropped pretty well on the spot, so around maybe 5 metres, dead straight away. Nice good thwack from the bullet, like you always get from the fox bullet, so couldn't ask for more. So there you go, everyone, end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe. Really important that you do subscribe, as that massively influences the people that support us, but also what we get invited to, and therefore what content we can potentially bring you guys as our subscribers and our watchers. I hope you enjoyed the sort of explanation and the sneak preview, I suppose, of the Roe Buck carcass. I know quite a lot of you have enjoyed seeing our previous videos like that, and sorry we didn't bring too many of those to you over the winter. Most of our fallow carcasses went in the fur to a particular customer, so we had sort of less opportunities to show you sort of really in-depth footage like we did today. But this one's sort of for our own consumption. Roe Bucks tend to be, so hence we can do videos like that. Another apology as well, apologies we can't bring you too much stalking footage this time of year, partly because we're just not out that often, but also tend to now swap from morning stalks to evening stalks, and as I said, the camera just doesn't really cope as well for some reason with evenings as it does mornings. I guess in mornings the light's always getting better, whereas evenings it's always getting worse. Anyway, please remember to comment, like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one.